Namaste and very warm greeting. I am Rajan Kumar Kondil, an MPhil student from Nepal Open University, Faculty of Social Sciences and Education. And today I am going to present on research in classroom. Especially I will be focusing on research in your own classroom written by Elizabeth Taylor. So this is included in this book in page number 397 to 403, and so this presentation is mainly focused on philosophy of English language teaching, and I would like to acknowledge my respected course facilitator Mr. Kamal Raj Devkota and the whole faculties of the Faculty of Social Sciences and Education, Nepal Open University. And so let me first start with the agenda of presentation today. First of all, I'll be dealing with how to become interested in investigating our classroom. Then I'll be dealing with how to make links between practice and theory, especially in research. So then I'll be dealing with collaborate or go it alone. So whether we should research alone or we should collaborate with our co-workers and our students. Then the discussion will go on what have the researcher found about my area of interest on which I am going to carry out research. Then I will discuss on how do I go about investigating my classroom. So especially 4 stages are suggested in the article, and they are focusing the investigation, collaborating information, collecting information, and then analyze the information, making sense of it. So these are the stages that will give us certain idea about how to carry out our research in our classroom. So then I'll be discussing about how can research in my own classroom help teaching and learning, and finally how should I report the overall research that I have carried out. So let us first discuss with the first agenda, that is how to become interested in investigating our classroom. So while investigating or while thinking about investigation or research in our classroom, we should give each and every aspect of the classroom. So we should look at our classroom very minutely, then how different groups or group division, small groups will work in the classroom. So that has to be discussed or that has to be noticed very well before the investigation starts. And then so we have to read the earlier researches so as a part of our literature review. So that may be the domestic researches or foreign scholars may have carried out such researches. So we should go through those researches to back up our researches that we are planning to carry out. And then we have to concentrate our class and concentrate our students' activities on which we are planning to carry out research. Then so we have to believe that there are many challenges, hundreds of challenges in the classroom. Out of those challenges, opportunities sprout, opportunities come. So that's why so we should not worry about the challenges alone, because so after the challenges only the teachers try the alternative ways to solve those challenges, and they bring abundant opportunities in our teaching and learning. So this is the first thing that we have to think about while carrying out classroom research. Then next agenda is how to make links between theory and practice. So first of all, we should notice that there are varied students, heterogeneous students, diverse students in our classroom. Some students like to play role of others, even they may play the role of teachers, and so for that, to encourage such students, we have to organize the causal chat with them, and we have to identify their interest, we have to identify their needs, and then we have to think about our own learning style, own teaching styles, and then move on from there. And we may select the best style that fits our context, because there are different techniques, different methods of carrying out the investigation, and which one best fits us in our context there. So we should choose that context. Then if we have certain confusion, to avoid such confusion, we can consult libraries, we can study books, journals, articles, magazine articles, even newspapers, and such other materials, and they may suggest us the better way when we have certain confusion. And then they give the materials, the literature give us the ideas about how others have gone in the situation similar to us when they carried out their research. Next agenda of the discussion is collaborate or go it alone. Whether we have to carry out research with our colleagues, or this is possible to carry out research alone as well. So to answer this question, there is no a single answer, or there is no a rule of thumb. So we have to decide based on our context, based on our interest, and whenever such dilemma arises, often collaboration may be easier, because so we have heard that many heads, many minds. So that is why if we have other colleagues teaching in our institutions, then we can collaborate with them. Even the collaboration may go with the students, not only with the co-workers. So we have to arrange regular meetings for them, we have to maintain time, and then we have to continue reading alone. So along with our research, the reading should go simultaneously, so in the continuous pace without any break. So then so we can find interested people among our students, among our colleagues. Then so we can carry out small classroom projects with the students. Students may find it better, easier, or they may feel warm to work with the teachers. So that is how we can carry out classroom research. So either in collaboration, or sometimes it is possible to work alone as well. The next agenda is what have researchers found about my areas of interest. Suppose we selected a certain area, one area, suppose, then we have to find out how many researches have been carried out related to my area, or so what have the researchers found, what have the researchers discovered about that area of interest that I am going to study. So we have to find the researches and we have to go through them. While going through them, we may notice a problem. That problem is many of the researchers may not fit our context, our classroom, our institution, our student, our interaction. So for example, the research is carried out in the old famous international journals like TESOL Quarterly and such other journals. However, However, they give us an insight how to carry out such research, and they are very helpful to us. And based on that literature, that study, that investigation, that research, so we can adapt our own, we can discover our own way of carrying out the research in our context. So, and after that we have to think about how do I go about investigating my classroom. Okay, fine, I read certain literature, I studied the earlier researches, I decided the area, then how do I go about investigating in my classroom. 4 different stages are suggested in the article. The first one is focusing the investigation. That means so we have to examine how others have tried in their context. So for example, in the article the teacher Anne is given, so how she selects, how she prepares in her context, so how she makes all the management for her research is described there in the article. So we have to reflect in our own context, we have to find out the background context, our role, students' role, class context, then we have to prepare, we have to plan, we have to manage for the research. So if we have to make research tools, those research tools should also be prepared. So this is how we have to focus the investigation. Then second stage of investigating our classroom own classroom research is collecting the information. So after the preparation, we have to collect the information, all details of the information, using the tools that we have developed. So Anne has done that. So that is described in the article. Anne has collected her data in her context. So the most comprehensive data in detailed form she has done. And then third stage of doing that is analyze the information. So we have to transcribe the audio if we have recorded it in qualitative research. Then after transcription we have to make code families, networks, and so many such analysis has to be done. So to support such analysis we can use qualitative analysis tools like Atlas TI and such other electronic softwares as well. So then if this is quantitative, so we have to analyze it quantitatively. We may use SPSS and such other softwares as well. So we have to present it in graphs, tables, diagrams, and such other thing. So this is the third stage, and after that we have to make sense of it. So making sense of it means so whether the result agree with our earlier prediction, earlier hypothesis or not. So we have to make sense of it. So sometimes what may happen, for example, we may guess one thing but the result may speak another, the result or the data may speak another. So for that we have to make sense of the data, we have to see the result, and we have to find the data, we have to reveal it, we have to explore it, and why this, how this. So this has to be done. This is how we investigate our own classroom. So then next agenda that we are going to discuss is how can research in my own classroom help my teaching. Okay, fine, I followed the stages suggested, or we may follow the stages suggested, like collecting information, analyzing the information, making sense of it, right? After the preparation, so after we focus for the investigation. So then what does it work? for what purpose do we do that? Then the first answer is to obtain feedback of our own teaching, learning, and so this all activity. And so for planning for better teaching in the days to come, so this gives us insight, this gives us reinforcement, feedback, right? Then so it shows the way ahead for better teaching in the days to come. Then so we can find whether we are right to decide the way we did in our classroom while teaching the student, while answering their question, while having interaction with them, while communicating with them, and while examining their assignments, homeworks, and such other. So we can find out so what they think. So we have been doing from our side only. So research, if we carry out classroom research, so others we can see our teaching from their foot, from their side as well. So from the side of the respondents, audiences, students, co-workers, administrators, so and such other. Then so we this research that we carry out can motivate the student, motivate ourselves, and for our professional betterment, it works. So for that also we have to carry out research. Then so it changes the usual practice for better one. So we may think this is better, and we may have been following that so without testing it. So if there are other alternatives possible, so to find out such things, research works. That is why classroom research is beneficial. We have to carry out classroom research. And the last agenda that I am going to put on or discuss today in this presentation is how do I report my finding. Okay, done, research done. Then so what is the way of disseminating or reporting my findings? Then there are many different ways of reporting your findings of your classroom research, and you can select contextually again. Then you can present your findings as an informal talk with your colleague, with your students, with your administrators. So that is one way of reporting the finding. Another, in face-to-face communication. So you can communicate with with your colleagues, students through chats, or you may present them in charts, tables, or through thick descriptions as well. You can present them. Then so while reporting the finding, so if you bring the actual transcript there, that may create interest to the audience. So bring the transcription of the audio, what the respondent have said, read it out. The audience may find it interesting what they said at that time. So at that time you have to keep the ethical, so you have to consider the ethical consideration. So you should not have to expel the privacy of the respondents. Then let the audience, the participants, pose queries upon what you have investigated in your classroom. Then so carry out student interaction, teacher interaction, and this is how you can report the findings of your research. So in this way, so I have captured this first presentation on research in classroom, especially based on research in your own classroom by Elizabeth Taylor, and so for that I have taken the reference of this article, research in your own classroom by Taylor, Elizabeth Taylor. So in this book, here, Methodology in Language Teaching, an Anthology of Current Practices. This is edited by Jack C. Richards and Willie Renindia. So I show you the book earlier as well. And so thank you very much for your patience. So please use the comment box below for any criticism, commentary, any dialogue, any analysis, any opposition, or any questions if you. So goodbye, namaste.